Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your friend Dharam Singh, and I'm going to talk about more about PgMP and PfMP. So, welcome to the second session. If you have joined the previous session and now you join again, welcome back. And if you are the first timer, you are welcome as well. And I'm looking forward to add some value to you. First of all, thank you all of you, and thank you to the PMI Queensland chapter and Melbourne chapter, Adelaide chapter, and many other chapters around the world. They have been supporting this program. They see the value that their chapter members are going to gain some value out of this, and there is a good support I'm getting from various chapter members or chapters. So welcome back, and let's start. So a little bit about myself. If you don't know me, I know you can go through my profile here, and I have been providing training, mentoring, guidance to lots of project program portfolio managers, and I have been helping people to achieve the certificates. I can see some people already gone through my, some of you already gone through my certification program, entry program. So I'm sure you'll be ready for the next certification. Right? Thank you. So just about the numbers, I love my numbers. So as of 5th of July, 456 PgMPs from 451 countries. Yay! And PfMPs, again, numbers growing, 117 from 26 countries. I'm very, very proud of these numbers. And you can read other things about me, and you can always call me to find out more about me. Perfect. All right. And as usual, if you have any question, burning question, please put your question on the question pad, and I will take the question as and when the right time we have. So if you have not watched my previous the first session, please do that, because I have gone through in detail some basic information about PgMP and PfMP. So please go to my YouTube channel. You will find the first session, the recording of the first session. And even though that was discussed in the last time, and if you still have questions about that, you are more than welcome to bring those questions again. So here, what we're going to talk today: roles and responsibilities of a program or portfolio manager. Designation, why? It does not matter whether you are a project manager, program manager, portfolio manager, CEO, director. Can you still do PgMP or PfMP? We'll talk about that. How to calculate, and how to calculate your experience, how to put your experience together on the application. Very, very important. Application is one of the most important stage, because if you don't do the right job, PMI can reject your application, and then you kind of waste more time. All right, and audit process, panel review. I will talk about some common mistakes and some numbers, and we'll do some sample questions. So be ready for the sample questions as well. I like that part is very interesting, because you'll be able to participate in the discussion. At least you can put your response on the question pad. Then I have some frequently asked questions which I will be answering, and then we'll talk more about what else. So PgMP, PfMP, we talked about a little bit about the eligibility and who can apply, who should apply, and we'll carry on from there, and we continue to build on top of it. So who can benefit from the certificate? Now, if you are a program manager, portfolio manager, you have been practicing program portfolio manager, you definitely go to gain out of this. Anyone leading large scale programs or even large scale projects, you may not know that you are actually eligible for PgMP or PfMP. Your senior managers, project managers, and VPs, CEO, director, even director level people or CEO level people also coming and doing this program, and why not you? All right. So let's establish the eligibility for PgMP. And most of you already probably know, I'm just assuming that you have been looking the PMI's, the handbook for PgMP and PfMP. So you already know the eligibility, but let me explain a little bit more here, so that there are few points you probably don't know, and I will tell you here. If your education background, if you know, high school diploma or associate degree, global equivalent, you know, so anything, you know, why PMI mentioning 4-year degree here for the lesser requirement? Actually, some of the courses with 3 years as well can qualify for eligibility for PgMP and PfMP. So the difference here, the main difference here is, you know, of course, 48 months versus 48 months, whether you are 4 years degree holder or not. But the main difference is, as a 4 years degree holder, you will be providing information about your 4 years of your experience as a program manager or portfolio manager. We'll talk about portfolio manager later, but program manager. Okay. And one important thing here, which you probably noticed, GAC accredited program. If you do not know what a GAC accredited program, please Google it. You will find that it will take you to PMI's directory. Here you will find lots of universities. I think more than 100 universities. And most likely, if you're coming from US or Canada, maybe Singapore and a few other countries, your university is already there. Why important? Because that will reduce 1 year of 12 months for your project management eligibility and 12 months for your program management eligibility. So, you know, program management experience. And here we're talking about non-overlapping, unique or non-overlapping experience. So you cannot say that, hey, I have 4 years and I can count 4 years of program as well as 4 years of project. No, that is not going to work. You have to show 4 years of program management experience, 4 years of project experience, collectively 8 years. But the good news is, if you already PMP, you do not have to worry about 4 years of project management experience. Okay, so as a PMP, even though you have only 4 years or 5 year experience and you already got PMP, it doesn't matter. That same experience, if that's relevant, can be applied, can be used for PgMP as well. And if you're in any doubt, let's talk and establish. I'm not asking you to make or fake, but sometimes because of lack of knowledge or understanding, you may not know that you're already eligible for applying for PgMP application. All right. By the way, you have option to book time with me. It's all free of charge. You know, there's no charge for that. 15-minute, 20-minute time. I'm okay to offer you. Any question related to PgMP, PMP, PfMP, or any other certificate, happy to spend time with you and make sure you know what path you are going to follow and what exactly you should do to get yourself into this, achieve those these elite certificates. All right. So one more thing, when we talk about program, you have to have at least 2 projects. If you have only one large project, no, you cannot satisfy the PgMP eligibility. You should have at least 2 projects, and they should have some kind of interdependency. So other than yourself, you can be a project manager as well, but other than you, there should be at least one more person who you can put as a project manager. Now, similar experience for PfMP. So if you already gone through PgMP, you know that PgMP, PfMP are very much similar. Now, instead of talking about program, we're talking about portfolio management experience. Okay. So here you're showing 8 years of business experience. By the way, business experience covers anything you have done as a project, program, portfolio management, even business analyst role, or any work you've done, which can be counted. That's what PMI looking for, that you have 8 years of experience, working experience, and 4 years of portfolio manager experience, or 8 years of portfolio manager experience, in case you don't have the 4 years degree, or sometimes 3 years degree as well. If you have a confusion around 4 years versus 3 years, yeah, please book some time with me. Happy to talk about that. Some of the people, they thought they have to go through this path. They realized that I guided them to approach PMI, and PMI has given them exception. So sometimes, because you are a bachelor with the 3 years, in a way you're a bachelor's degree holder, but some of the courses you don't have 4 years. Anyway, so any doubt, talk to me. Now again, GAC accredited program, if you have done any degree, any certificate from one of the university of GAC accredited program, you have again 8 years required, but 36 months of portfolio experience. Again, we're talking non-overlapping unique experience. By the way, your experience for program and portfolio can go back 15 years. If you think that you did something in past as a program manager, portfolio manager, but now your role has changed, doesn't matter. You can go back. Ideally it should be like, recent as possible. But if you have done something in past, now your role has changed, you maybe moved to sales or maybe testing or something else, you can still do these certificates. Actually, one person came to me sometime back. He wanted to do PgMP, and he said, Dharam, my current role is test manager. I'm doing test manager role for last 4 years. Can I apply for PMP? So for some reason, because PMP you need to go back on, you can go back only 6 years or 7 years. But for PgMP, you can go back 15 years. So he was not eligible for PMP, but he was eligible for PgMP. Think about the magic. So he cannot do PMP, but he can do PgMP. Okay. So if you are thinking and if you have any doubt about eligibility, please, reach out to me. I will guide you on that. I have seen so many people going through this, some easy, some difficult. Somehow all of them gone through and they got the certificate. Now, a little bit of the timeline, a roadmap, whatever you want to call it. So look, PgMP and PfMP, these are long duration programs. Like unlike your PMP or ACP or RMP, other certificate, you can, if you are ready, you can apply, and pretty much in few days you can actually do the exam. I did my SP, PMI SP, end of April, actually 31st of March, I did my SP. And you will not believe, I applied for my SP application on 29th of March, and it happened very fast. Within 2 days, or rather 24 hours, my application was approved, and I did my exam on the 3rd day. I have to do it because I was about to go teach a course, and that was one of the requirements. But that is not possible in PgMP PfMP. It can take long time. Just be prepared for that. But I have also seen some miracles. From start to end, I have seen within 48 hours, it also happened. PgMP and also PfMP. Start to end with the initial submission, no audit happened for that person. And in the morning when he saw that, hey, Dharam, I don't know, something wrong, I got my approval. Even he passed the panel review. So it is also possible. So be ready for the miracles as well. I've seen that happening. 3 or 4 people with extraordinary reduced time within 48 hours got certificate completion, all full from start to end. But as I have mentioned here, the initial review can take up to 15 to 20 days. And if the audit picked up, it can happen during this initial review. And once you paid the fees, when the audit finished, look, audit is option and not optional, but random pick. And it is not because of your any history or any because of your religion or name or anything. It's just random pick, and it's not that PMI just want to have any suspicion. Maybe because of that, but generally it is a automatic pick where you get an email from PMI, hey, you picked for audit, and this is the criteria. I will talk about that. And by the way, for PMI SP, I got picked for audit as well, but audit happened very fast. So if, within the 24-hour audit and the approval happened. But that happened, it can happen mostly on other certificate, but PgMP, PfMP, generally you can assume, somewhere 4 to 6 weeks as a whole timeline. But it can go up to 2 months, or it can happen even 2 days. So look, there's a lot of unpredictability, a lot of manual work happens here. Thanks to all the volunteers, they have been putting their hours and hours and they're trying to make this this process as smooth as possible. I know PMI is working hard to reduce the 2 months period to maybe 15 days or maybe sooner than that. Look, what we can do from our side, we submit the application and as best as we can, and leave it to PMI to take the time. Of course, after if it is gone beyond the prescribed time or suggested time, you can contact them. The reason PMI put those dates or that 2 months or something, so that you don't start calling them. They want some time to go through it. Some applications have taken more than 2 months, and because of any reason, I don't know. So once you completed your panel review, you book your exam, and you have 1 year to complete your exam and 3 attempts. But I will suggest don't delay your exam. If you're ready, if application approved, try to book your exam within 2 to 3 months. Of course, if you're in my program, I will guide you on that. And 2 to 3 months is the ideal time. And if you have some emergencies or you have to go out, holidays, other thing, that's a different story. But don't delay too far, because I've seen when you start putting it for later time, it is becoming kind of a never-ending goal. So as soon as you decide, application approved, book a date and go for it. Then you maintain your PDUs, and just like any other certificate, you earn 60 PDUs over 3 years time, and once your renewal time comes, you can renew your certificate. So 60 PDUs, yeah, sounds too much, but if you do some training programs, like in my programs, when you do join my group mentoring program or boot camps, I'm offering 48 PDUs. So, but the problem is you can apply those PDUs only to any certificate which you have already gained, not the certificate you're going to earn later on. So the date on the certificate matters. So yes, earning PDU is not difficult. I've seen people let go the certificate, but please don't let go this hard-earned certificate. Earning PDU is not difficult. Many of my, when I'm running my webinars, you able to earn PDUs. You can use your experience as a project program portfolio manager to earn PDUs as well, or anything you present, or any meetings you organize, like especially learning project program portfolio management, you can earn PDU from there as well. So now, why are we doing this? What are the benefits of doing PgMP, PfMP? Why we want to even take this step of earning these certificates? These 2 certificates are one of the most difficult certificate to earn. I should not say that, but the length and the complexity of the question can make this exam a little bit more complex than any other certificates. All right, so why we waste our time and money and whatever we're trying to do? I think there are many benefits, as you can see here. It will open some doors for you, many doors for you. Look, I gave you my example. When I did my certificate PgMP in 2010, at the time, PgMP was not at all talked or known in Australia. I was in Australia at the time, and nobody was talking about this certificate. And but I did 4 interviews between 2010 to 2016 until I decided to leave the corporate world and start made my own company. Yeah, so in those 4 interviews, no requirement for PgMP, but end up talking about PgMP because with my name mention of PMP and PgMP. So the question such as, hey, Dharam, we have seen many people with PMP and you are PgMP. Why? What is so different between you with PgMP and other professionals with PMP? So that's where I know that this question means the job is certain for me. Anyway, so those 4 interviews I got and did with a big corporate in Australia, I managed to go through them, all of them. Chance of increasing salary, having the certificate will improve your salary. Generally certified professional are in more demand, and you can expect a little bit more salary than non-certified. And of course, recognition. So far, even many companies still have either none, maybe one or two PgMP or PfMP, or even in the country, the entire country, there's no one, or maybe few of them, less than 10 PgMP or PfMP. So that gives you a uniqueness. You become first in the country, you become first in the company. Of course, does it really matter? I think it gives you a feeling of proud, and you feel proud that you have achieved and be the part, first in the country. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I've seen people that I'm doing this certificate so that I can be the first person. Anyway, so that can be another motivation. Acquiring new skills. Look, guys, I'm not just talking certificate. Important is when you go do any certificate, please learn to be a better program manager, better portfolio manager, because the certificate is important. At the end of the day, when you're doing the job and you're doing job more efficiently and more effectively, that is where the value of PgMP, PfMP to you as well as to your organization. And it's like a continuous learning. Please continue to learn. I have one person, he's from Colombia. He cannot speak English that well, but he's in my class, and he's 72-year-old, still learning. He's teaching. Actually, he's teaching in universities at that age, and also he joined my PgMP program to become a PgMP from Colombia. There are not many PgMPs. I will show you some numbers, but he's determined. He's learning. He says, Dharam, I don't need a certificate, but the reason I'm learning is because I want you to continue to learn, because he's teaching, so that is also important. Yes, job it gives you extra chance, more chance of getting better jobs, and you can multitask. I don't know if multitask, you want to have a skill of multitasking, but that's another thing you can get. Dynamic leadership, you are moving to a leadership positions. PgMP and PfMP, we're talking strategic management, and value delivery, and stakeholder engagement. All those skills help you to get into the senior roles, PMO head or vice president, director. Actually, one person, he's from Qatar. Now when he joined my program, he was a program manager. And 3 years or 4 years, he's now managing director of a big construction company. He's the fourth largest construction company in the world. He's now managing director of this company. And when I called him, he said, Dharam, thank you for PgMP, and the role I'm doing is because of PgMP. And there are many examples. One guy, and probably know him, when he started my program with PgMP, he was a program manager. Then he did become portfolio manager, and after doing PfMP within 6 months, and he was promoted to be the global competency leader of Microsoft. It's a big deal, coming from program manager to this kind of role. All right, so let me see. I have a question here. If I have PMP and I get PfMP, would I need to get 60 PDUs each cycle to stay in good standing, or would I have to get 60 PDU for both certificates? Look, these are independent certificates, but the good news is whatever PDU you're going to earn for one certificate, most of the certificate you can apply them to all of the certificates. So that 60 PDUs, most of the 60 PDU you can apply for PgMP, PfMP, even many of them directly go to RMP and SP. But sometimes when you talk about agile certificate, in those certificates you may not able to use some PDU you have from PMP or PgMP, but there are less requirement for PDU as well. I hope I answered this question. Now, roles and responsibilities of a program manager or a portfolio manager. I like this smiley face, beautiful smiley face. Of course, they got their certificate. That's why they're smiling. I don't know. Okay, yeah. So, role of a portfolio manager, you are helping. Actually, you are selecting the right program. or a project, and any project program which can help you to achieve the strategic objective of the organization. So of course you perform a lot of analysis and strategic alignment and many other things you do to select the right work. So portfolio is all about selection of the right work, the work which will help you and your organization to achieve the strategic objective. Identification of bad project, of course, part of the role you have is to understand if something is not working, there's a bad project, you have to get rid of that as soon as possible. You do the resource planning, you may have to do resource procurement, participation in steering committee. You are, as a portfolio manager, you are also maybe participating in some steering committees. Prioritization of the projects, you help or move around the projects. Sometimes you feel that this project is going to get us more value than other project may not. Maybe you have to get rid of them. So that's the constant juggle between available resources, prioritization, which project to do, which to stop is a constant drive. You continuously to work on that. Not that much, but at least every fortnight or monthly, you get together with your governance board, discuss what is being done, how it's going, and what else you can do to improve your portfolio performance. You review the project program plans. Of course, whatever project is being done under your portfolio, you like to know how and when this will be done. And you initiate reviews, handling of the issues. So yeah, any issue which is escalated to you that need to be reviewed, and maybe you have to help them. So at the end of the day, any issue raised at the project level, program level, now they cannot handle at that level. They need to come to you, and you are the one with the different vision or view. You will be able to help them out. If you cannot handle, of course, you will take it to the next level of the management. All right. Now, similar we have for the program managers. As a program manager, you also let's differentiate. Program is all about coordination to deliver the benefits. So we need to identify what benefit to achieve, and you deliver those benefits. So identification of business opportunities and identification of bad projects, if you have any, or you want to get rid of them. Resource planning, synergy identification. Basically, you look for the best combination of the projects which will help you to achieve the benefits. You may be participating in the project steering committee. Coordination of the project, you are the one who coordinating, kind of juggling the resources and getting the best out of them to get the best benefit for your program and to the organization. Collection and aggregation of reports, and also project reviews, coaching, issue handling, process improvement. So look, there are a lot of things you do as a program manager and portfolio manager to understand your role. In a nutshell, actually, let me give you an example. And some of the people already done my program, they will say, okay, Dharam, we know about the example. So, and very important to understand, differentiate what is project, what is program, what is portfolio. So if you go to a musical concert, there you see hundreds of musicians playing the instruments. Some people playing, a saxophone and drums, guitars, and all kinds of things. So they are like your project managers. Individually, they can do a great job because, if I have a project plan, I can do it. But now, because you're working along with other people, other friends with the other instrument, now you need to work in a coordination. So can these project managers work individually? I mean, of course they can work, but if you have a project manager, let's say project manager, you're the other project manager, but these musicians is supported by a person which normally within black or white coat, long coat, whatever they call. This person is called conductor, and the conductor is going up and down with the stick in the hand, and basically the conductor is giving direction to these musicians. What this person doing is coordinating the work with these musicians. So this is your role as a program manager. You're working with these project managers who are doing the job, but you're coordinating. You're seeing how this project going to finish, now how to start this, the output of this, input of this, and how this benefit going to achieve. So and in case of in the music concert, the audience are the one who go to receive the music. In your case, as a program manager, your sponsor, your steering committee, your customer, beneficiaries are going to gain. They need to know what's happening, and you got to communicate to them in the most efficient way. So you have seen projects, the individual musician and program manager, the conductor. Then what about portfolio? Now, yes, portfolio also is there. Portfolio manager also there. Which concert we have to run? Whether we should invite some Indian classical players, musicians, or should we invite some Bollywood or Hollywood actor, or should we invite a pop music or whatever? Why these questions? The reason is they need to see what is the strategic objective, what is the vision of the organization. If the organization looking for making money, then probably okay, get some popular pop singer in a concert, and you will make more money. If they're looking for promoting classical music, then the portfolio manager is going to select the work which help them to. Anyway, so the reason I'm talking about portfolio manager could select the right work, right concert, that whatever is aligned with the organizational strategic objective. I know this is a totally different field, but I hope this helps you to understand project, program, and portfolio. And once you get that, learning about PgMP PfMP become very easy. I can guarantee you. All right. Okay. The analysis of program manager's role identified in series of commonalities with the role of, both roles look very similar, whether portfolio or program management. We're talking multiple components. Whether it's a portfolio or program, we're dealing with multiple project programs. The difference is at the project level, we are talking about interdependencies among the components. Portfolio, you may or may not have any interdependency, but program level, we're looking for interdependencies. While portfolio manager aim to maximize the intended result for the organization and their annual reports across all the projects in a portfolio, the program manager is intended to improve or maximize the result for achieving the program objective. At the end of the day, organization objective. So due to temporary nature of the program manager takes take a more short-term stance, whereas portfolio manager look beyond actually multi-years. They have to think about multi-years, many years to come. So there's a difference. So make sure you know about the difference between program and portfolio, because that's another question. Dharam, should I do PgMP or should I go for PfMP? I'm also having multiple projects, so of course, let's talk about it. If you have any confusion around that, book my time, happy to talk about that. And now the question about designation. I'm a project coordinator. I'm a project manager. Can I still apply for portfolio management, PfMP or PgMP? I'm a director, I'm a CEO. Can I apply for either certificates? By looking at the title, you may think you are not eligible, but to surprise you, you may actually, you're more than eligible. Just now, I'll tell you one example. She called me, she's calling me from Kenya. And she said, Dharam, I want you to do PgMP. And I'm on LinkedIn, I'm checking her profile. And her title was, what is that? Junior Project Coordinator. Oh, sorry, no. Associate Junior Project Coordinator. I said, she's not even project coordinator, junior associate. I asked her, can you describe your role? So she said, Dharam, I'm responsible for managing the Nairobi, the capital of Kenya. I'm responsible for managing the entire transportation system, rail system, and aeroplane system, airline system. So what is the title about? Yes, so I'm working for government, and this is the title they give. So by looking at the title, you may get confused, and I was confused. But because she was talking to me, she explained me, said, perfect, you actually more than eligible for PgMP, even PfMP. So she passed the PgMP exam and she's going to do PfMP as well very soon. Anyway, so don't get worried about the title. In the application, you're going to fill two things. One is your designation. That can be a project manager, project coordinator, or a CEO, director. And the second one is your role on the program or portfolio. This is where you have to say your role was program manager. Your role was portfolio manager. And we are not talking about making or faking here. You are still, based on your type, the kind of work you did, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Okay. So, and again, if you have any doubts, please give me a call and I will be happy to talk about. And things that guys, many organizations, they don't even have concept of program management. We can take example of construction. They are running, making big buildings, big, airports, hospital, and big roads, mega billion-dollar work. And still there's a question, am I a program manager? You are more than a program manager, guys. So don't get stopped because your title is not a program manager or portfolio manager. All right. I hope this is clear to you guys. Program and project experience. So now I'm getting into the writing the application part a little bit, just to let me move around some of these things. When you're writing your experience as a program manager or let's talk about program, you're going to talk about your program overview. And very important, you need to talk about your organization, that this is my organization and this is the vision of my organization, this is the vision of the organization, these are the strategies, these are objectives. And if you're in doubt, go to your website and look for some reports or investor report. You can check more about the organization. And talk about the key driver for your program, why this program was started, and how the program was strategically aligned. Okay, so this is very important. They like to see, PMI like to see that your program was strategically aligned. So you have to show this was the key driver and this is the program. This is why the program was done. In the application, you are required to provide start and end date of your project and program, and the system will calculate the number of months. So if, for example, you started a program in January 2015 and finished in December 2018, the system will calculate number of months. You don't have to provide the date, you have to provide number of months. Basically, the system is calculating. Then we talk about project under the program. So there are two types of project we're talking. If you have to write, let's say you're not PMP, then you have to write a project experience. So we're talking independent projects, they are not part of the program. And also we're talking about project under the program. And the project under the program, you have to show some interdependency. I've seen some people saying my project finished in June 2019 and another project started in July 2019. So there's no interdependency. PMI like to see some interdependence. You can say, okay, my June 2019 finishing, but I started my other second project under the program in, let's say, March 2019 or whatever. I'm not asking you to make or fake. Sometimes you don't realize. You pick the project which are not aligned and not interdependent. So pick the project which have interdependencies. Because main thing we are talking about in the program is interdependencies or overlap. And then there are 5 questions about your experience, and every question comes with 2 options. you pick the best option out of that, and you talk about, take the and talk about, pick one option out of two, and talk as much as you have to talk, generally around 400 to 500 words. List program and project separately. Do not group the program management with your project management experience. So we're talking two separate experience: project experience, program experience. Use the experience section of the online application to record professional experience in the project management, and detail at least 2 projects. Like, guys, I mean, 2 is a must have. 3, 4 is okay. If you have done, let's say, 20 projects under that program, please don't keep writing. We just stop after 3 or 4. That should be enough for completing the application. Guys, keep your application simple. You should have just enough information that will take you to the next level. Okay? Look, there's no, you're not impressing anybody. Even if you spend 15 at a program and 30 years experience, nobody cares. Actually, it's adding more value, more time for you. And if I'm your reviewer, it takes more time for me as well. So just have enough experience, required experience, and move on. Write about it and move on. Okay. Experience does not necessarily have to be paid. So guys, it's also important. Some people think I have never worked, or I've worked, but some of the work I did as a, let's say you're a part of PMI, doing some activities, you're organizing some events. So that experience as well can be counted as your program and portfolio experience. So don't get stopped because you don't have enough time. And even some of the work you did at the university project or program, maybe that can also be qualified. So again, if you're in doubt, talk to me about it. I will definitely help you on that. In the event that holds, if you're PMP, you don't have to talk about the project experience. However, you are not asked to enter project experience. Yes, experience month of the professional experience are calculated based on start and end date. Okay. So this is how overlapping of the program looks like. If you have 2 programs, like this one January to April, and this one is February to May. So basically, you have added 4 months here and 2 months here. You cannot assume that 4 months here and 5 months here. It's total 9 months. No, 4 months and 2 months. System will calculate, give you only 6 months out of this. Now, portfolio and business experience. We're talking about portfolio experience. Basically, again, same thing. You talk about the organization first, vision, mission, strategies, objective, and the reason for your portfolio. Talk about your portfolio, show the alignment of the portfolio with the organization. Okay. And talk about, and there are, again, similar 5 questions. Again, these questions are different than PgMP application, obviously. We're talking about portfolio experience, not the program experience. So again, you can go back 15 years, and I will. If I'm looking at your application, I like to see you go chronologically backward side. The current portfolio and the previous look. Try to keep it simple. 1 or 2. Generally, if you're running a portfolio, you're a portfolio manager. You're running a long portfolio, 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe one of your portfolio can be just enough. Just keep it simple. KISS is a very good acronym. Keep it simple. Okay, it's the same way, just like we calculated for PgMP. Similar way, we talk about PfMP experience. Use the experience verification section of the online application to record your professional portfolio manager experience. The experience does not necessarily to have it paid. It can be unpaid as well, as we talked about. Activities such as school project or planning personal event may not qualify. Yeah, you have to be careful. That's just a simple project for 1 month, 2 months. Yeah, don't waste time on that. And for your portfolio management experience, you will be asked to include detail on the specific portfolio you have managed in your career and how your management of these portfolio helped to achieve the objectives. Now, same thing on the portfolio side. If you're self-employed or as the most senior person in the organization, you may have to use excellent to and to serve as your primary contact. Like a client can be your primary contact, especially if you're working as a like me. I may have to use my contacts as my client where I work for. If you are a consultant, the primary contact of your portfolio may include your peers or direct reportees. So on the other side, other organization. Business experience, you will have to demonstrate at least 8 years of professional experience. As I mentioned, it can be your project management experience, program manager experience, business analyst, developer role, anything you have done can be counted for that purpose. And again, talking about the overlap, you know about the overlap. Now, how to write effective application? Again, very important to have a good application. Ensure to spend good number of hours, because it's going to take time, guys. To be very frank, you know it's going to take you around 1 to 2 hours per program or portfolio. If you have a 2 program or portfolio, you can calculate 1 to 2 hours, and then 5 questions. Again, it can take you 1 to 2 hours. Sometimes it can take more because you're writing the whole thing, essay and describe in the best possible way. It can take time. So I think 7 to 10 days are a good enough time for you to write the application. As I said, keep your application simple. Have 1, 2, or 3 large programs or projects. Sorry, a large program and portfolio if you're talking portfolio. And no overlapping. So if there's overlapping, the overlap period will not be counted. So just be careful. Fill up each and every field carefully. So look at the description, what they're looking for, and write it. Fill up all the fields. Okay. And the 5 questions, even PgMP, PfMP both have 5 questions each, where you're going to explain your experience as a program manager or portfolio manager. Now, guys, because you're writing your experience, please use word I, because of me. I created. I was responsible for that. So don't hesitate to use I. Hey, Dharam, what are you talking about? This is rude. My team is helping me. No. When you talk about, when you go to do a speech, you can talk about team and this because of my team, but because you're talking about the application, it is your application. So talk about yourself. Avoid acronyms. If you have to use acronyms, make sure you define it, expand it on the first use, and avoid theoretical language. Guys, PMI do not like this. If you just copy from the standard and copy paste, it will not go very well. If you might see, hey, this task is good, I like to put in the task as it is. Yeah, believe it or not, PMI will not like it, send it back. So you should have at least one example. No, I would say at least, but just have one example which is explaining the full flow of the application. The work, the kind of experience, the question, you should be able to demonstrate full the question via example. That's where the PMI like that, because you are showing that the process you followed. Again, don't mention tools. This I use Microsoft project or this project, this thing or that thing. They don't like it. They want to see the process you followed to complete that particular program or portfolio. Okay. Now, if your application picked up for audit, so guys, don't just rely on email. I've seen email is not very reliable from PMI. Some email come many days after, or sometimes never. Maybe it's gone to your trash folder. So don't just rely on that. Keep an eye on the PMI portal. So you can see how the progressing happening. Sometimes your progress much ahead than by waiting for email. So keep going there. So if you pick the audit, you will know that immediately, and there will be email sent out by PMI. Hey, your application picked for audit, and you will get an email from PMI. Or these are the things you have to do. What they're expecting is you submit your scanned copy, or you scan the copy of your highest degree or diploma, whatever they're asking for, and also you need to provide the name and email address and phone number of your managers. They will receive an email. Guys, you don't have to provide the name and email address at the time of application. It was a requirement previously, but not anymore. If you picked up for audit, at the time you have to provide the name and email address and phone number of your manager. They will receive an email from PMI. So I'm talking about asking them to complete. Basically, it has what they will see, your program description, which you have written in your application. And so they have an option to write some comments if they really want, or they can just complete by putting their name and finish up. If you are you can talk to your manager, just guys, sign it. Don't have to write anything, or if they have any questions, they should talk to you first. So you pick the person who can really help you in this process. And I'm not asking you to make or fake. It is about the person who understands what you did, and you actually explain them, this is what I did and this is what I wrote, so that there is a common understanding. The problem happens when you have run the program 5 years ago, 7 years ago. They may not remember anything. So remind them, hey, remember I did a program with you in so-and-so company. This is what the work we did. Most of the time they are okay with that. So just manage this process. And once you completed this, once the manager signed, and then you have to complete the process by going to the link again and complete the process. Now, what is panel review? This is a very big misconception because people get worried. Panel review means I have to go in front of few people, 5, 6 people, or they will call me or something else. No, there's nothing like that. Actually, they started the process like this. In 2007, when they started the PgMP, the panel review was like you have to travel to one of the chapters, and the chapter directors are given some questions, and they are the one going to ask you these questions. But now they have changed the process altogether. They kept the name as it is, so don't worry about it. Now, PMI's volunteer will go through your 5 questions. Remember, we talked about 5 questions. They will go through the 5 questions and whatever the response you've done, and they see if that makes sense to them. If everything looks okay, they will give you a pass, or they can ask you to revise the application, or their option to withdraw as well. So if you've gone through my process, I've taken me as mentor, I will work with you to ensure the application go through without any problem. Or if they come back for any reason, I will work with you to ensure that it goes through in the next attempt. Generally, first attempt will be fine. Okay, so don't get worried about the panel review. But you cannot book your exam before or without passing the panel review. Another important thing is, and that is again, PMI has to fix it. The first email come out from PMI saying that, hey, you passed the initial review and you have 365 days to book the exam. And people think that they already got approval. And in the bottom, there's also, you can now pay the fees. And people get excited, hey, I got only 360, my application approved. Hang on. You have to go and pay the fees. So click that link and go ahead and pay the fees. Once you pay the fees, then you are getting into the panel. Okay. All right. Yep, some common mistakes, like experience mismatch. You think that you call it a program manager, but you actually have a title of program manager, but you're not a program manager. So look, some organization like that, they keep giving you promotion without you doing the job. So be careful. Total experience calculation. Sometimes you think that you have relevant number of years experience, but just be careful about the number of experience, number of months you need, and number of how you're going to define. Choice of words. When you're writing your application, make sure you're very careful the words they're expecting. Of course, we're talking to me after reviewing 1,500 application. I know what I'm expecting or what PMI expecting, so I will guide you on that. Maintaining all work experience, whatever work you've done, whoever you work with. So you can be asked. Look, actually, audit process is as I talked about, is simple. Whatever you mention, the program description, they will ask you to provide the name of manager. That's why you have to sign. The manager has to sign it. That's it. Nothing else. You don't have to worry about, hey, I don't have all the documentation from my previous program. Nobody's checking your documentation. Only thing they're checking is the program description. Your manager sign it. That's it. And what else? What else? Application incompleteness. Yes, if you sometimes we don't write everything, or sometimes see in the program description only 2 lines. From your point of view, done it, but PMI like to see around 350, 400, 500 words. Same thing with your 5 questions. So they like to see an essay about 400, 500 words. All right. Now a few things. Okay. Numbers. You probably have been watching my post on LinkedIn all the time. I'm talking about numbers like that. As of now, we have 4,589 PgMPs. Still a very low number, still under 5,000, or you can say under 10,000. If you are thinking, get yourself within 5,000, top 5,000 PgMPs. When I did myself, I was under 500. So yeah, I mean, is it really matter? Doesn't matter. But you feel proud you achieved when it was still new. PfMP 1459. This is a very, very low number. Don't ask me why this is lower. And PgMP or PMP is 1.3 million, or lot of. This is why you should be doing this, because this will bring a differentiator for you. Everybody else is a PMP, but there are only few PgMP and only very few as the PfMP. So this is where you're going to get the differentiator. When you go for interview and you are the one with PgMP, PfMP, and PMP, what's the other? You have better chance of getting the job, or at least the interview. I mean, I have some numbers, country-wise, or top 3 countries in the continent. As you can see, USA 1350 as the PgMP, 424 as the PfMP. Canada 302, 100. Mexico, you can see here, and Brazil. All these numbers. I mean, we don't have to go through the numbers just for your sake. You can go through it. I will just keep moving. Then Europe, you have Germany has 50 PgMPs. Saudi Arabia is doing really good, especially in the PfMP level. PfMP is almost touching PgMP with 100, only difference of 100. So if you are in Saudi or UAE, there's a lot of importance given to people with the PgMP and PfMPs. So if you are still thinking, don't think too much, get yourself started. Africa, yep, Egypt is doing good. South Africa still behind. Again, it's not about behind or something, but yeah. In this case, China is doing good, and India is doing really good. All this. My favorite one is Australia, and the reason I'm saying favorite because more than almost 50% of PgMP PfMP gone through my program. Yes, I'm Australian citizen, and I lived there, and that's where I have contributed, and I have been contributed. I'm going there in August, and if you are in Australia and living in Australia or can travel to Australia, you can join my live programs in Sydney, Melbourne, and possibly in Brisbane in the month of August, September. So I will show you some dates in a few minutes. All right, so I have few. I know we are almost over time, but let's go through some questions. I know you guys love this part. So go through this question and see what is your answer for this. And please put your answer on the chat, on the question pad. I'll allow you a few seconds. So the question is asking, which statement is true about project and program management? And please put your answer. I like to see more and more people participating. If you know this answer, if you attended my program, I'm sure you know this. If you don't know, just guess it. And you will be surprised that your answer was. I like to see if anybody gets this answer right. Unless you're my student or you attended my program, I don't think you will get it right. Let me count to 5 and see your answers. And you can put your answer on the chat. Guys, please participate. This is your time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, actually I was wrong. That is, unless you're my student, you're going to get it right. So far I got 4 responses. 3 of you got it right. Yes. You don't have to be my student to get it right. I'm sure this question was already shared on the LinkedIn, so probably you remember from there. Okay. Yeah, so this question, you have to be careful with the vague answers, options, like this one saying project management and program management are following the similar life cycle. Now, similar, distinct, wider, not good enough. The correct answer is C. Program management life cycle can be a mixture of project management and operation management. Yeah, operation management, because we're talking of the benefits. Sometimes in order to achieve the benefits, you may have to do some operation activity as part of the program. Okay, so I love this question actually. Many people struggle with this, but anyway, I can see majority of you got it right. All right, sure, there is. So the next question is, which statement is true about the, okay, we've gone through that. The answer is C, you can see that. Now the next question is, unfortunately, the key stakeholder rejected your proposal about initiating the program XY. Which document do you update now? Now, please participate in this one. This is interesting. Which document you're going to update now? And there's a surprising thing in this question. All right, let me start time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I got few responses. I can allow you. Yeah. Great. So I was actually, you know, waiting somebody saying A, but you missed that. And in my class, when they come, and the problem is when we go through this question, we are under pressure. We have a tendency to read just one word or something. If you have not read, the mention of on the A is the project chart. Guys, we're talking about program. So project chart, even if this was the program charter, still wrong. The answer is business case. So all of you participated, you got it right. Fantastic job. All right, and because we're doing initiation at the time, we don't have any program charter. We're just talking about business case, and if you reject it, we have to, you know, document at the time. All right, okay. Relationship between portfolio and program management is collaborative. Both work together to ensure that desired benefits are effectively and efficiently delivered, value are effectively and efficiently delivered, products are effectively and efficiently delivered, and strategies are effectively and efficiently delivered. So now over to you. You don't have too much time here, but please answer it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Initially you got it right, you made it wrong choice. It's okay. This is part of the learning process. Good response. I like it. So guys, answer for this is A. Because we're talking about program and portfolio management. The program is all about benefit. Okay. So when the portfolio manager works with the program manager, the focus is on the benefit delivery. Are you delivering the benefit effectively and efficiently? Yes, value delivery and strategies all part of your role as a portfolio manager. But when you work with your program manager, you're working around on the benefits. Good stuff. I like it. Now, next question is, your senior manager, who is also the sponsor, is very particular about using portfolio management information system, PMIS, for all portfolio components. Basically, PMI is primarily used for. Now, you should get it right. I think you will all get right. A, to store all the project program portfolio management documents and provide central control, to store the portfolio management artifacts, to store the portfolio management office documents, or you can see that, to store all the project related. All right, so far so good. I think you should all get right. Let's see. One more minute. Yeah, not minute. Yeah, one more second for you. Last, please. Yeah, perfect. So the answer is A, which all of you got it right. PMIS is where you're going to store all the project management information, program management information, all the artifacts, risk related information, your financial information into one document, and gives you central control. You press the button, you should get a report, beautiful report coming out of this. Fantastic. So now over to me again, talking FAQ. And please, guys, if you have any questions, or any clarification, please put it here. Now, the question to me, I generally ask, as a program manager, do you love your job? What is the best part of your job? And what are the challenges you face? Look, as a program manager, when I was program manager, I loved my role as a program manager. Reason is, as a program manager, you are actually coordinating things and getting things done. You are helping organization to achieve the benefits, strategically aligned benefit, and get it done in the most efficient way. So as a program manager, you are looking at the strategy, you're looking at the the governance structure, you're looking at the stakeholder engagement, you're looking at the benefit management and many things. So here you can take the idea from start to end, and you can see things happening. And I love that. When I was working on the cloud data center for HP, really, yes, there are a lot of challenges. I faced a lot of challenges in terms of managing program, but having effective, risk management and issue management, or all these things, we can manage the program more effectively. Our next question to me is, does anybody know a good source of information about risk management project in the project portfolio? There are many sources available for risk management. You can look at the Handbook, a lot of information available. You can look at the standard for portfolio management. You will find a full chapter on the risk management. You can actually look at the standard for risk management itself. There is a standard, a practice standard for risk management. You will learn a lot about this, and there are many other sources available which can help you. You can find some information in the group discussion, all kind of things. So use that information for learning about the risk management. But yes, to start with, if you're doing PgMP, PfMP, you learn about this risk management, and of course, Handbook is a good source of information. Okay. Have you ever tried to manage a project or program with no master schedule? Wow. I don't know if you have done it, but I have done it. Believe it or not, I've done it. This is one of the most challenging program. This is the November of 2009 or 10, I think 9, and HP contacted me. Dharam, this is the cloud data center we have to set up, and we have to be ready by June of next year. And I'm talking data center with lots of racks and equipments and network connectivity, everything, with equipment up to $5 million. Yes, June 25, and the program finished. It was very challenging. Yes, I did it. I actually told my manager, look, don't ask me my project management. So if don't ask my risk management or schedule and all this, but I will get you there. So I reached there on time. I was delayed by 5 days, but it's not ideal. The good thing is, actually, in that process, I highlighted the risk to my manager, and manager said, fine, don't worry about it. I have accepted your risk, but if you can get it done, That will be one of the best things you've done for us. Anyway, so I was delayed only 5 days, and actually there's a lot of story around that. I will actually generally talk in my program, but a lot of miracles happen, many things happen at the time, so I reached there. But I don't advise this. If you have to do something like this, make sure you have highlighted this as a risk to your managers and document it, because sometimes in the future if they can come back, hey, why you missed the date? Why did you do this? What about the budget? Yes, in one way they're asking you to do a favor. At the same time, there can be some challenges to you as well. So be careful. Yes, once you get a certificate, another thing, yes, because look, one thing important. Actually, somebody asked me a question: why do we need brakes in the car? So some people say to stop it, to avoid accident, and you know, the answer, the clever answer was, so I can drive my car fast. Hang on, how you can do that? Because if I know about the brakes, I have a brake, so I can drive. So whenever I can control my car. So that's why knowing about the process, the tools you have available, you can use them if and when you need. If you don't know about them, you don't know. You know, you're probably missing out everything. Okay. So yeah, that was interesting work, and I love talking about it. So one more question here, and what are some of the best source of learning about project and portfolio management and program management? Look, I cannot go beyond. Like there are many sources available, many books available, but you can always start from Handbook. You can always start from a standard for portfolio management, and there are many books. If you do a Google search at the moment, you will find books from. Actually, why I'm forgetting? Actually, I have a book. It's just not my book. This is a very book. One of my friend, and his name is Reinhard. He was joining my PfMP program in Germany, and by the time I reached my desk, the book was sitting in front of me, and he said, Dharam, I've written 31. I am the author of 31 books, and this is one of the book which I've written very recently. They called Handbook of Project Portfolio Management. Very nice book. Lot of people have contributed. I asked him, Reinhard, what are you doing in my class? So you are the master of writing these books, and what I do in my class. He said, look, Dharam, I know about the portfolio management. The reason I'm here to learn about PfMP. How can I pass my PfMP exam? Okay, I was not intending to advertise this, but I just saw this book in front of me. So this is the book. I hope you can see that. Okay. So his name is Reinhard. And if you want, I can, you can call and contact me. I will provide the name. And I said, I asked him, Reinhard, and then we had good time together in Germany, and he took me out to show me a lot of things. So he's actually one of my podcast partners as well. He's done several podcasts with me. Anyway, so any other question you have? I can see if you question what's the name of the book. Just shown. Okay, the book called The Handbook of Project Portfolio Management, edited by Dennis Locke and Reinhard Wagner. Okay, Reinhard, you got free advertisement here. All right, any other questions? So next session, a month from now, if you have been enjoying or you like to know more about, now we talk in the next session, we talk about exam fees, syllabus analysis, and books and supporting material. So please keep sharing your questions and join the session. We'll do questions together, FAQs. So these are the things we're going to cover. You may like to take a screenshot to see that what we're going to talk next time. Yeah, I like the sample questions. That's where the fun is. All right. There's no mention of addition, but yeah, you can search the name of Handbook of Project Portfolio Management, edited by Dennis Locke and Reinhard Wagner. Oh, okay. So PMI standard. Okay, you're asking about the PMI standard. So So for the PfMP, you need third edition, standard for portfolio management third edition. As of now, guys, this is July 2023. Currently, we are using or still using the third edition. While the fourth edition available, we are using third edition. PgMP is fourth edition. Fifth edition is being, the draft was under review. So as per my understanding, the fifth edition likely to be released somewhere in October, November, depends on how they go. And the exam likely to change somewhere in, I think, May, June next year. We'll know more as we come to know. And yeah, so there are many other sources available. I'm working on a new app with lots of questions and lots of information about PgMP, PMP, and PfMP. Ideally, I'd like to see all the apps, all the certification under one app. So I'll keep you posted about that. So the dates for the next session, you can see that we're talking on the 4th of August. 8th August may have to change because I will be in Australia at the time. Maybe it's clashing with my program. I will let you know. But yeah, keep an eye on that. And these are my programs for Sydney and Melbourne. If you are in Sydney or Melbourne, or if you can travel to Sydney or Melbourne, please take a note of these. And as a joining of this program, I can share a coupon code which you can apply to these programs, Sydney programs or Melbourne program, or any of the programs, whether mentoring program, physical class mentoring program. You will be able to save $100 because of using that coupon code. So if you need it, you have to ask me. You have to send me, Dharam, I watched that session with you, and talk about how good looking I was at the time, and we learned something. I will give you $100 voucher code. I will love to give you this $100 voucher code. So guys, if you are in Australia, if you can travel, come with me from US to, I can see a couple of people here. You can come with me, and I have a house there. You can live with me, and you can enjoy my classes. Anyway, so this was good talking with you. And while you're not talking with me, actually, I can feel that I'm talking with you, and the questions, the participation helped me to stay connected with you. So anything else, yeah, you can message me. You have my email address now. You have my phone number. My phone number is also WhatsApp. Please take a note of this, and my website, LinkedIn, or anywhere you can find me. So please connect with me, book my time, and let me help you to achieve your dreams. So if I don't have any further questions, I'd like to thank you for patiently working or listening or going through this process. I hope I have added some value to you. So please contact me for anything I can help you with. And again, there's a $100 discount coupon code, and contact me for that. All right. So till next time, next month, we'll see again. And bye. Enjoy yourself and love your work and love yourself. Take care. Bye.